Morning, everyone. We are working on ethics and laws, law and ethics of Christian counseling, and we are taking a look at the AACC, American Association of Christian Counselors, the Code of Ethics. We're going to continue this for last, I think, 6 weeks. All right. 1-120-A Application to deadly and threatening behavior. Christian counselors do not condone, advocate for, or assist the suicidal, homicidal, or assertive or abusive harm done to self or others by clients, including that which is threatened by verbal or other means. An affirmative ethical duty shall be assumed to prudently intervene for the sake of protecting life and under certain conditions to report deadly threats to the proper authorities and those threatened by clients. Well, that's kind of, you know, what we have in our societies. Actually, we don't support any harm by our clients. Even suicidal or killing themselves or harming themselves or hurting themselves or hurting others. Killing others. We don't support that. So when we have those kind of situations, or we hear any intentions, those kind of intentions by our clients, we need to report it, because that's not part of the confidentiality at all. So we don't have any responsibilities on confidentiality, but the threatens or those kind of activities are not acceptable. So we want to just report those things. Okay. Christian counsel it's not only for Christian counselors, but also to any counselors or even psychiatrists or psychologists. When they have those kind of situations, they have to change those things. Okay. Even verbal, when clients got hit by themselves. I mean, when they say this and that, and their emotions can be elevated, and then they can say something harsh words they wanted to do. Well, I understand that why people are saying N-words and kind of strong words, because they want to be steamed up. But I understand that why people are doing that, but it is acceptable? No, not at all. I can understand, but that is not acceptable. So they have to find some other ways to steam out or explode their emotions to somewhere, in other ways, like do sports or, do whatever they want, singing or dancing. They can do whatever they want, but they want to just do those things verbally or physically. No, those are not acceptable at all. Okay? So we don't support that. When they do that, what the counselors are supposed to do then? We want to just encourage those clients to stop it. And we want to just tell them it is not acceptable. And we want to just let them warn if they continue to do so. And then, if they continue to do it again and again, and we want to just stop the counseling sessions at any time we want, because it is dangerous. It's dangerous to, the clients are dangerous and counselors are dangerous. as I told you last time, a friend of mine, she got stabbed by her clients. Thankfully she's surviving. You know, but I believe she had trauma, and it was very, sad moment in her life. It's not good for clients and counselors. So we have to be wise. The counseling is not an easy job, and it is not a safe job at all. It can be dangerous. Okay. An affirmative ethical duty shall be assumed to prudently intervene for the sake of protecting life, and under certain conditions to report deadly threats to the proper authorities and those threatened by clients. Right? An affirmative ethical duty shall be assumed to prudently intervene. So we have to be aware of this. Okay? We have to know it first. Okay? That's why we are working on the codes. We don't know the laws, we don't know the codes, we're not familiar with those kind of penal codes or something like that. We will make troubles, or we'll be in trouble. Okay. We keep red signal, green signal, yellow signal when we are driving. Turning right, turning left, going straight, stop. Those things are very essential, and we have to know. We have to know what our laws and codes are saying. Or we're gonna miss it. We're gonna violate it without knowing. And then we can harm ourselves, and we can harm others too. So we have to be familiar with the codes, laws. For example, you want to be a good Christian, you want to know what God wants you to do. Okay, God is saying lots of good things through the Bible. He's still telling us something through the Bible, and we want to just know it. That's why we want to read it. We want to understand it. We want to apply it. Or we will get in trouble. Okay? So, an affirmative ethical duty shall be assumed to prudently intervene for the sake of protecting life. So, protecting life is the first priority thing. If we lose our clients, how we can help them out? How we can work on their depressions and anxieties, all kinds of things, right? Let me just double check if that is right or not. Last time I just made a mistake, so I had it to, alright, it is working well. I had it to record it again, and it was kind of stressful, so it is recording well, alright? Okay. So when we die, when we are killed by our clients, how can we serve our clients? Doesn't make sense. So we need to protect our lives and our clients' lives. That's why we want to intervene any time we feel it's not safe at all. And under certain conditions, to report deadly threats to the proper authorities and those threatened by clients. So clients can get lots of stress because they want to just revenge to people or harm people because they got humiliated by those people, or they got assaulted by those people, so they got angry and they want to just harm others or even kill others. And we know that, and once they just just to show the intentions or verbally, physically, and we wanna stop it and report it. So we have to be careful because in the counseling rooms or offices, there are only you and your client. There are no more than one counselor. But sometimes you can have more than one client, depends on the situations, like a family therapist. Then you can be vulnerable in any points, right? So be careful. You need to protect yourselves, and then protect your clients. That's the priority, okay? You can help others at any time after as long as you are surviving, okay? So keep it safe. 1-122. I just focused on counselors' safety also, but the client's safety is important too. I'm not just separating those things, because once things can be happen, both can get damaged by those incidents. 1-120-B, application to substance abuse and other addictive behaviors. Substance abuse, like DUI, driving under influence. You drink and drive, you cannot drive well. Okay, substance abuse like drugs, alcohols, or cocaines, amphetamines, it's getting popular. Any substance abuse, then what you can understand? What you can expect from your clients or counselors, especially from clients. Other addictive behaviors, like visiting with pocket knife or anything else, even pistols, dangerous. Christian counselors do not condone, advocate for, or assist substance abuse or other behavioral process addictions by clients, recognizing and accepting the distinction between drug dependence and addiction. Support or assistance to clients may be given for limited periods of time. The use of necessary drugs, even those from which dependencies may occur, when medically justified and under a physician's supervision. So, the Christian counselors do not condone, advocate for, or assist substance abuse or other behavioral process addictions by clients. We don't encourage them. When we know that they are still using those things, we need to be careful, and then we can stop or intervene in our counseling sessions or counseling itself, because it is dangerous. Do you think you can teach something good to kind of drunken people? They are drunken. They cannot listen to you. Even though they can listen to you, they cannot understand it. Even though they can understand, they cannot memorize it. Alright? There is no room they can practice those things. So teaching good stuff to drunken people, it's useless. It's not doable at all, actually. Right? So we better be careful to understand that, and recognizing and accepting the distinction between drug dependence and addiction. Somebody asked me what is the difference between the drug addiction or the drug dependence. It's about the same. It's about the same. Why people depend on drugs? Because they got addicted. Because they cannot do anything else. Or certain things without that. So some people are drinking kind of Red Bulls or Monsters before when they have a midterm or finals for the college people. So what they are doing is pretty tough. Because some people cannot focus on their studying without Monsters or Red Bulls or other things because they think they can focus on with those things. So without those stuff, they cannot focus on. It is physically effective. When you drink those things, you can be alerted and so you can focus on your study without sleeping. But your brain got kind of ruling by those substances. So your brain is working properly? No. You are boosting your brain with something else. So when you are manipulating your brain actually, right? And those are very strong. You can lose your life. Actually, some people lost their lives because of those things. Because of the heart failure or heart got, beating, too much or, blood pressure problems. So those are actually dangerous. So you gotta be careful. Those things are right or wrong, you gotta be careful. So support or assistance to clients may be given for limited periods of time. The use of necessary drugs. Even they are taking some medicines for any physical or emotional things, problems, issues. Still, you want to just let them have certain drugs for limited times, or they're gonna depend on those drugs. Eventually, they're gonna get addicted to those drugs, those substances. Okay. So when medically justified and under physician's supervision, and so they want to get the supervision from the professionals. So they don't want to just overuse or abuse those substances for long times, and they really got in trouble, and they cannot get out of there in most cases, right? Even consuming alcohols, drinking alcohols, they got addicted and they cannot stop it, and they cannot sleep without any alcohols, and they get used to it. So they drink, and they drink whole days, and they don't know how to get out of it, and they just living with it. It's like you are wearing very foggy glasses, so you cannot see things right. Okay. And that is what's so-called you are not sober, right? You're gonna be sober, then you wanna just clean your glasses. You wanna just clean your brain with things. 1-120-C application to abortion. Christian counselors do not condone or advocate for abortion or the abortion-related activities of clients, especially when the life of the fetus and or mother are not at risk or in jeopardy. Well, there are some exceptions for the abortions when the mother is in jeopardy and when the fetus is jeopardy also. There are many cases and there are many ways they can get damaged or they in jeopardy, in danger. And then we can, our physicians cannot just want to abort the baby. That is painful, and it is very very, very painful and sad experience for mothers and fathers, and even the fetus. Okay, I believe fetus feels something. Oh, they're not gonna move. Okay, they are living things, right? The lawmakers and even religious leaders are arguing on fetus. They are human beings after they got, they gave birth. Or after 3 months in as fetus, or there are many arguments on it, but what I'm believing is that they are living things. They are living things, okay? That's what I know. And I want to just respect all the lives. So fetus are supposed to be respected too. But anyways, when the mothers are in jeopardy, in danger, and the fetus, and then we have to be careful not to make wrong decisions on it. Counselors and we Christian counselors don't support those kind of activities, any abortion or harmful activities, because some young mothers or even more 20s or 30s, they try to abort their baby, so they just drink something wrong, or they just jump down from the high place, like from the desk or chairs or buildings, or they just hit their stomachs hard. They use many ways, and those are very dangerous for the moms and fetus, so we don't support those things. Counselors will consider and inform clients of potential adverse consequences, emotional and psychological consequences, including any increased risk of depression, anxiety, and suicidal ideation, as well as alternative means to abortion, recognizing the client will ultimately be responsible for the decision that is made. Okay. As far as it is possible, counselors will continue to serve clients and work compassionately with them throughout a pregnancy, whenever abortion is being considered, and or whenever emotional and psychological post-abortion consequences may result from a particular decision. Hi, Agatha, how are you?
Hi.
Very good. And then we have to take care of those mothers and families, so they cannot be in more dangerous situations, emotionally and physically. So Christian counselors, we want to know, Christian counselors don't support any abortion unless the mothers or fetus can be in danger or jeopardy. So that's what we are supposed to do. And then post-abortion, we have to watch carefully the mothers and family members because that can be a huge trauma to people. Because abortion itself is killing fetus in mother's mom with chemicals or usually chemicals or I don't know, they use any injections or something, but with my best knowledge, people using chemicals for killing fetus, and then to take out the dead fetus, mother knows and family knows that it is a loss. It is a loss, and we have all kinds of pain, and we lose something, especially the fetus. It is painful. A friend of mine lost his baby in his wife's womb, and there was because the doctor already said to his mother, his wife, that the baby dead already in the womb, and so they couldn't sleep without crying every night for a while, and then the day they're gonna get surgery for removing the dead fetus out of his wife's womb, and I had to help him, and I was speechless because I know it can be very very sad moment. Doesn't matter, that baby could be their fourth baby, I think. It doesn't matter because the loss is loss. Okay? When you have 10 babies and lose one baby, it can be a traumatic too. It's not just 1/10 sadness at all. It's 100% sadness. So we can just focus on the post-abortion counseling for our clients, and so we want to just remember that is a big loss. All right, and next one is 1-120-D, application to separation and divorce. Christian counselors do not directly advocate for or assume the decision for client divorce, but may assist clients in understanding biblical parameters and analyzing and making decisions to separate and or divorce. Recognizing that the decision to divorce always resides with the client, Christian counselors working in divorce mediation are careful to communicate that such work is not an endorsement of divorce, but rather a decision to offer an alternative choice to adversarial litigation and its destructive family impact whenever divorce is inevitable. Well, so do you think Bible allows divorce or separation? You don't think so?
I don't know, because
Alright.
I used to go to the Catholic church.
You go to Catholic church?
And they don't.
They don't. Are you Catholic? Alright. So they don't allow
I don't know,
divorce?
now they probably will try to change, but they don't.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
They don't, but you know, they try to change many things. Probably in future time they will allow, yeah.
Catholic don't allow abortions also.
No,
No, not at all.
no, they don't.
But there are exceptions, right?
I know I really don't know because it's all the time
Yeah.
change.
Because there is no rule without exceptions. There are some exceptions. When mothers are in trouble or in danger, they allow to get abortion surgery.
Because
Yeah.
in Poland they don't allow. In my country,
Yeah.
it's no exception.
All
By
right.
the law.
No exception for abortion.
By the law, yeah.
Wow.
But in my country, no
Okay.
Catholic.
Okay. Yeah. But I believe United States it must be a little bit more liberal than Poland or some Europe countries, but we have some exceptions for abortions.
I know, yeah, it's normal.
And we don't want to allow mother dies, because no abortion. So we can support the mothers. Well, we respect all lives, fetus or babies in the womb or mothers, but when there are certain situations when mothers and babies can be dangerous at the same time, then we need to, we want to allow the abortion anyways for saving mother at least, or we can save both mother and babies. Well, actually, Bible says, no divorce. But if you want to divorce, you can just write divorce certificate something, okay? Because that's what the law says. But Jesus said, God allows that kind of thing, divorcing with divorce certificate, so the women can survive. But Jesus said that it is because you are greedy or because you are stubborn. But Jesus said, divorce is not that great. So technically we can think Jesus doesn't like divorce. But it is getting popular, and 1 out of 2 couples are divorcing in the United States. And 50% have. So it is, for example, my next door neighbor got divorced because she's a single mom. And I don't know, some others, because I haven't, asked them. But anyways, divorce and separation is getting popular. So even Christian counselors cannot avoid that, counselings for divorce or separations. But we want to just do our best not to divorce, but we cannot make any decisions for our clients at all. But we want to just let our counselors think about what kind of options they have than, separation or divorce. Cause that is ruining our family systems. Actually, that is ruining our society at the same time, because it's not stable much. And kids can get damaged because of their parents' separations or divorce. We can can understand, but people cannot live with their girlfriends, boyfriends, or wives and husbands. They can make their own decisions. But as Christian counselors, we want to just support our clients to make better decisions. That's what the counseling is for. So we want to just talk with our clients, not to encourage them, but they can find better ways. They can reconcile, or they can live together for a while or more years, and that'd be great. But that's not our goal for our counseling, because our counseling is focusing on our clients' well-being. Okay, so we don't want to just push our clients with the Bible. Even though we are just doing our counseling is based on the Bible, we cannot push them with the Bible, because people have their own free will, and they want to just decide their own. They want to just make their own decisions by themselves. Even we are providing the counseling for on divorce. We are not supporting the divorce at all. That's the thing we want to just keep in our minds. So we want to just mediate, but what if we don't have both parties, which means couple? We need two people for helping them better ways, but in general, we have only one party rather than both parties. Then it can be very complicated. I used to help a woman who was got in trouble in the marriage life. Since I don't have her husband in the counseling sessions, I have nothing to talk to the husband. So I have to talk with the lady, and then cause in the end, she was not satisfied with the counseling, because she only told to do this and that and change this and that, but she is still thinking that her husband is supposed to be changed. But without her husband, I have to try to change her husband by changing her. Okay, so it was that kind of a thing. Counseling is pretty tough, because it's hard to, because both parties are thinking that they are right and the other people is wrong ways. I understand that, but when we don't have both parties, marriage counseling cannot be done effectively. And we all know that separation, divorce can be achieved, but it can be constructive when their relationships and marriages are too much violent and too much harmful to each other and to other family members, their kids. Divorce can be better for certain family members, but somehow we can have those kind of complaints and willing to be separated and divorced, but we want to just let them think all those things, and we don't encourage them to live together more or divorce right away or separate right away, but we can just let them cool down and think about their lives, past, current, and the future. things are inevitable. Well, I encouraged, divorce to some of my friends because their marriage life was destructive. People are thinking divorce can be destructive to the families, but at the same time, marriage life can be destructive to their families. So we're gonna just compare which is better, and then we can choose the right things. Definitely, some separation or divorce is way better for some people, because I know a person and his father used to hit his mom almost every night. Even in 21st centuries, people are still living together for some reasons. Because of their kids, because of their financial situations, because of their cultures. There are many things. Sadly, that is just happening. Christian counselors, we want to just focus on our clients' well-being. So we don't want to just push them to this or no. Okay, next one is 1-120-E, application to premarital and extramarital sexual behavior. Christian counselors do not condone or advocate for the pursuit of or active involvement in premarital and or extramarital sexual behavior by clients. Well, it is pretty tough for Christian counselors because we value the families, but how many people can keep this in 21st centuries? We Christian counselors do not advocate or encourage people those kind of activities, but our clients can make their own decisions, because nowadays lots of young couples are living together before they get married. Before they are living together, with many reasons, because they love each other, because they like each other. So it is hard for Christian counselors to, just talk about the premarital sexual behavior or something, or extramarital. That's definitely, we don't want to encourage them, but we want to just teach them, stop the extramarital sexual behaviors, because that is ruining the families eventually. Okay. So, acknowledging that sex is part of God's good creation and a gift when confined to one man and one woman within the boundaries of a marriage. It can be very hot issue nowadays because there are lots of LGBTQs, LGBTQI++, there are many things, things are just, there are more things than that. Sorry, I cannot just, mark all those things because so acknowledging that sex is, just one man and one woman, it can be very challenging to some people, and LGBTQs don't like it. But the Bible says one man and one woman, That's the Bible says, and even the people in the Old Testament had more than one wives. But that's what we are believing, and one man and one woman. But there are two men couple, two women couple, and there are many things, and transgenders, and so we cannot just say all those things. But what we are believing is that sex is a part of God's good creation and a gift. Right? So. But even the modern Christians, Christians nowadays, they live together before they get married. Well, if that is right or wrong, I don't know, but lots of people are thinking that it is safe, it's more safe. Because once they get married, they don't want to divorce, but what if they don't like each other's? And so they want to just try all kinds of things as much as they can before they get married. I think that is a good idea, but I don't know if because I don't know the sex, and I'm supposed to tell everything what I think. Sometimes so, especially this recording. And counselors may agree to and support the client's desire to work through issues related to sexual behavior, identity, and attractions, but will encourage sexual celibacy or biblically prescribed sexual behavior while such issues are being addressed. So, that is the code we have. We want to just follow this. We don't want to violate those things at all. And we don't want to influence people with the things we know and feel, but we want to just, talk based on the Bible we have and we believe. So we need to be careful when we mention those things. I think we want to take a 10 minutes break.
Okay, good.
And then we can continue the rest of it. So we, as I told you, we are reading the whole codes from the law and ethics, especially the ethic codes of AACC. So by reading those things, we can learn lots of things about the counseling. Okay, we can take a break.
Okay.
Translation of is this fifth class, I think, right? We're going to continue the ethicals of the AACC. 1-120-F, application to homosexual, bisexual, and transgender behavior. Well, it can be different with what you think, but please understand that this is AACC's ethicals. Okay. Christian counselors do not condone or advocate for the pursuit of or active involvement in homosexual, bisexual, or transgender behaviors and lifestyles. Well, that is, there are many hot topics, and this is one of them. LGBTQs and homosexual or bisexual, those things. People are saying that's kind of type of sex or something, but kind of sexual preferences. But AACC is kind of fun to say this. So when people don't, like their ethicals or their preferences, they don't have to go AACC counselors or counseling centers. counselors may agree to and support the desire to work through issues of homosexual and transgender identity and attractions, but will not describe or reduce human identity and nature to sexual orientation or reference. Which means we AACC counselors can give counseling to anybody else, even though they LGBTQs plus or I don't know what the I is, you know. So some people are saying LGBTIQ plus things, but I don't know. You know, I know LGBTQ, but anything else. You know, other than that, I'm not just familiar with those terms. But even though they open that they LGBTQs, but counselors have to do their best to provide good counselings to those people, anyways. So no discriminations at all. But will not describe or reduce human identity, that's the point, and nature to sexual orientation or reference, that's right. But some counselors or some religious people, they strongly disagree those people, you know, those activities or sexual preferences, LGBTQs. But I understand them too, because that's their preference. LGBTQs cannot say, this is what I believe, cannot say that they are all equal and people have to treat them equally. Well, I do, but other people can say what they think and feel. Not only the LGBTQs can express their feelings and thinkings and express their rights, all other people have the same rights to express what they think and feel. But they don't like it. So that's the part I don't like that. Right? I want to be treated equally, and yeah, but you say what you think, and I can say what I think. You preserve your right, and I preserve my right. Some, you know, that was one of the biggest moments that LGBTQs and kind of tensions between LGBTQs and the straights. I think most straight people are not taking, they don't pay attention a lot of things to the LGBTQs or sexual orientation things, but some people do. An LGBTQ couple just ordered their wedding cake, and the wedding cake shop just declined to make the cake for them, and that was kind of a big issue years ago. Well, you want to get a cake, yes, but you can find this somewhere else, because they don't want to just serve the cake to LGBTQs. It's a discrimination, yes, but they can save their rights based on their religion and or culture or other things, because they have their own rights. When you see, when you just step in some markets or stores, you can see, particular kind of signs. We preserve our rights not to serve some people, Well, they have their rights. Both parties have their own rights. So we cannot blame others. Okay, but as Christian counselors, we don't discriminate those people. But if we have any kind of issue or we don't want to serve them, we can refer them to other counseling centers who can serve LGBTQs or not. And will encourage sexual celibacy and biblically prescribed sexual behavior while such issues are being addressed. Counselors acknowledge the client's fundamental right to self-determination and further understand that deeply held religious values and beliefs may conflict with same-sex attraction and or behavior, resulting in anxiety, depression, stress, and inner turmoil. Okay. Well, we don't make decisions for our counselors, but the counselors acknowledge the client's fundamental right. That's the key point. As long as we just keep that in our mind, we can just make decisions on many other things. Because we are not controlling or manipulating our clients, but we just help our clients to make their own decisions. That's because we respect their rights, even though they are young or old. Further understand that deeply held religious values and beliefs may conflict with the same things. Definitely. So, like the straight people, we just looking for our girlfriends and boyfriends, husbands and wives, based on what we do, what we think, and what we have in cultural things, values. And the LGBTQs, they are looking for the same things they have. So straight people and between straight people and LGBTQs, there can be lots of conflicts too, because sexual preferences is pretty different. So it is natural that we have conflicts. Some Christians, they don't like conflicts, but that's what we cannot avoid, those kind of conflicts at all. There are conflicts always, wherever we go, but how we can just take care of it, that's what we are supposed to do, and we do that based on what we believe, what we learned, and what we have, what kind of cultural assets we have. But at least we don't support those things. 1-120-G. As you know, we are just taking care of those codes in detail. I mean, actually, we are literally reading those things, and there are so many things we have to consider. Marriage, sexual preferences, separation, all kinds of things. Application to euthanasia and assisted suicide. Christian counselors do not condone or advocate for active forms of euthanasia and assisted suicide, but may agree to and support the wish not to prolong life by artificial means, and we often advocate for hospice care, more effective application of medicine, and other reasonable means to reduce pain and suffering. I don't know if you have a living trust or not. When you want to have a living trust, if we have some money or house or any kinds of assets, you want to just have a living trust program, because you can avoid all kinds of kind of problems, because once you die, the court will take care of your all assets, and there must be probations if you don't have a living trust. But if you have a right proper living trust, your assets can be distributed to the people, to the beneficiaries right away without holding that like 3 months to 3 years. So it can be painful to your beneficiaries. So, anyways, when you have living trust, you can write down all kinds of things like no more extending your life artificially, which means you are vegetable, but people can, the hospital can make your heart beat more, longer, like forever or something, because we have all kinds of medical skills and machines, technologies, so they can make your heart beat as long as they want. So, but you have to pay all kinds of things out of your pocket, and you're gonna lose your whole assets eventually, and the hospital will take it. So you wanna just write it down. When you are vegetable, when you cannot live without artificial equipment for your heart beating or brain or blood, then you can just clearly write down that you don't need it or you don't want it. After 3 days or 10 days, just cut everything, and then we die naturally, and you can just make it. Lots of people are making wrong wills, so if you don't write the right wills, people cannot follow, and then you got in trouble too. The best way must be the living trust. So there are lots of paralegals to take care of that. You don't have to see your lawyers for high expense, high fees. I don't know if there are free living trust programs or not. But anyways, Christian counselors, we don't support assisted suicide or euthanasia. It is getting popular, so some Europe countries, they have a euthanasia program, and people and they have assisted suicide. They not call that as assisted suicide, but they just travel all the way to your countries, and they usually have great time with their loved people, and they die. It's kind of an artificial way to end their lives, but we don't support that, because Christian counselors, we are thinking that we got our lives from the Lord, so we don't want to just end our lives without God's permission or something, or natural death. So we don't support that. Regarding patients or clients who wish to die, counselors will not deliver, nor advocate for, nor support the use of drugs or devices to be utilized for the purpose of ending a client's life. So long as there are no other reasonable methods to alleviate such pain and suffering, the counsel is free to support, advocate for, and participate in aggressive pain management in accordance with sound medical practice, and with the informed consent of the patient or the patient's authorized representative. So as I told you, the best way is the living trust and will. So you don't want to just waste all things for just beating your heart. Doesn't make sense at all. And you can't talk, you cannot eat, you cannot see, you cannot hear anything. It's useless. When they don't have a living trust or proper will, but I have to give advice to the family members, and then I usually check the doctor first, and just got the solid idea of what's going on. Person, the patient, and then I can encourage, not as counselors, but as ministers, and then I can just advise the family members if they want to just keep their loved one as vegetable or something else, or just let the person die peacefully, and those things are inevitable. And I just saw a pastor who led the last service for the dying people, and dying man and his family members. He led the life, he led the quite beautiful service for that. Well, the counselors, so we don't support those things, but we can advise those people that they can reduce the pain if they have pain. Now, some severe pains cannot control by morphines or stronger than that. Then patients can get in huge trouble. This is more painful than dying for some people, and we need to make decisions for those people. So hospice, that's a wonderful program. So we have those kind of wonderful assets, hospice care, and the painkillers, and any other medical ways and religious ways and emotional ways. So we support those things, but no euthanasia or assisted suicide. Nowadays, lots of people meeting together and they are discussing together for suicide. And so they kill each other. That's what happened, because they're afraid of killing themselves, so they kill each other and they die together. That's what happening in this world. It's pretty tough, but the more the society getting tougher, the more, the harder the counselors can right advice. So the secular counselors, they have their own ideas and beliefs and what they think. They just let people know what they think. But AACC counselors, they have their own ideas and theology and religious stance and cultural stance. So they just put those things in the ethical right now, and they're reading it. 1-130, sexual misconduct forbidden. Christian counselors refrain from all forms of sexual misconduct with clients in professional, pastoral, or lay relationships, and view such behavior as unethical and forbidden. So, if you I mean, that can be happen. When you counsel, when you counsel your clients between man and woman, or between man and man, if you are LGBTQs, and then your clients just pour all the stories to you, counselors, and then you just listen to the person, and you can know what's going on, and then your clients are not telling you only facts about emotional stuff, and then you can feel something else, and then you have to be careful. You have to be careful in the beginning, but you have to be careful in the meantime. So you don't want to just get involved with any personal things what your clients have. Your clients can, just request you something personal, decide on counseling, then you want to just say no. And when that kind of things are happening again and again, you want to just stop the counseling sessions and then refer that clients to somebody else, because the results can be horrible, I think. And this includes any kind of a sexual exploitation, abuse, deception, manipulation, harassment, relationships where the sexual involvement is invited, and relationships where informed consent presumably exists due to the inherent power imbalance of happy relationships, as well as biblical principles related to sexual behavior outside of marriage. Such apparent consent is considered illusory and illegitimate, forbidden sexual activities and deceptions include, but are not limited to. And there are some examples, and we have to be careful. So basically, we don't want to have personal relationships with our clients. So our relationships with our clients have to be started in the counseling room and end in the counseling room. Other than that, you don't want to contact your clients, and your clients are not supposed to contact you beside the counseling sessions except the emergency, because our clients can contact the counselors in emergency situations, because sometimes they cannot control their emotions, and many things can be happened, and you can have hotlines for that, or your counseling centers can have hotlines for those people, so hotline staff can take care of those those clients. So you don't have to answer to your clients at every single time, and basically they don't know your personal cell phone numbers or home phone numbers or address at all. And you don't want to just give them those things, because you are giving them counseling, but you don't want to just build any personal relationships with your counselors. All right, those are things. Number one, direct sexual touch or contact. So we don't hug our clients. We just say hi or maybe shake hands, and that's it. We don't hug our clients, especially when they are crying. We don't touch them. Okay. When we think we can just let our clients borrow our shoulders, I wouldn't do that. But if you think that you can avoid it, I don't know. Anyways, I don't want to just touch or contact my counselors at all. Number two, selective sexual speech or non-verbal behavior. You don't want to allow your clients to do so, and then you don't want to do it also. Solicitation of sexual or romantic relations? No, not at all. Erotic contact or behavior as a response to a sexual invitation or seductive behavior of clients. As soon as you see and feel anything you don't feel good, and you better stop it. You better stop the counseling sessions, or you can just take a break, or things you can do. Number five, unnecessary questioning and or excessive probing into the client's sexual history and practices. If that is not related to your counseling topics, you don't have to ask those things. Because there is no reason you ask those things. Well, when you have marriage counseling, then you can ask those things when you have those kind of clients. Well, actually, you have to ask those questions when they have bad relationships, including the proper sexual activities between husband and wife. But other than that, you don't want to just ask those kind of questions. 6, inappropriate counselor disclosure of client attractiveness, sexual opinions, or sexual humor. 7, advocacy of the healing value of counselor-client sexual relations. Is secretive sexual communications and anonymous virtual interaction via the internet, sexting, or other electronic and informational means. So basically, you don't contact your clients inside of counseling sessions in counseling center or counseling room. Number 9, sexual harassment by comments, touch or promises, threats or special action, or staring, including staring. And 10, sexual misconduct as defined by all applicable laws, ethics, and church, organizational, or practice policies. So that's the part we have to be careful. So for your safety and for your client's safety, you don't want to just have any kind of sexual relationships, verbally, physically, beside the counseling sessions. You don't want to just say those things. Okay. If you have any personal feelings to your clients, what you are supposed to do, you just end the session. But still, you cannot contact your clients because you have your client's cell phone numbers or home address in the file. You can't do it. That's the violation. And that's a huge violation, and you got in trouble. Okay. But what if your clients want to contact you personally and you are willing to do it? You better end the counseling sessions, end the counselor and client relationship, and you can do whatever you want. But as counselor, you don't want to do it. But even though your clients want to have a personal relationship with you and you agree to it, and you just build the relationship, still you can be blind. You can be blind. because all counselors, whether they are Christian counselors or secular counselors, they just they just sign on the ethics of counselings at any places, at any circumstances. Okay. All counseling centers get the consent form from counselors first, and then counselors, clients, including this kind of ethics. 1-130-A, sexual relations with former clients forbidden. Okay? Christian counselors refrain from all sexual behaviors and or relationships as defined in 1-130 above with regard to former clients and view such behavior as unethical and forbidden. Furthermore, counselors do not purposely terminate and refer clients or parishioners, even at first contact, in order to pursue sexual or romantic relationships. So counselors, we have to be careful. Because we are happy people who are vulnerable and their emotions are not stable and their environments are not stable and safe enough, so we can manipulate and control those people. We know their weakness. We know how to control those people because they are vulnerable. So we can take advantages if we want, but we are not supposed to do it. That's why we are working on it. Okay? So just keep this in your mind. We counselors never contact our clients beside the counseling sessions. That's the best one. 1-130-B, counseling with marital sexual partners. Christian counselors do not counsel with current or former sexual and or marital partners but make an appropriate referral. Why there are so many calls on sexual activities? Because that is happening a lot. Because that can be serious for our clients. Okay. Why people make laws and ethic codes? Because they don't want to see that anymore. Okay. Because that is the vulnerable part. So we have more laws and codes on more vulnerable, more sensitive areas. Okay. 1-130-C, marriage with former clients, patients, it's not acceptable. Okay. Since marriage is deemed to be honorable before God, Christian counselors may consider marriage with a former client, though it is not advisable in most circumstances, so long as the following parameters are met. Number 1, counseling relations were properly terminated and not for the purpose of pursuing marriage or a romantic relationship. Number 2, the client is fully informed that any further counseling must be done by another. Number 3, there is no harm or exploitation of the client or the client's family as a result of a different relationship with the counselor. And number 4, the marriage takes place no less than 3 years after the termination of counseling or helping relationship. See, so you can't terminate the counseling relationships for the romantic relationship. So as I told you before, that which means you need to wait at least 3 years. So after the termination or ending the counseling sessions or relationships, you want to wait 3 years. And then it can be happened. You can just bump into your former clients and you can fall in love with the person. But after 3 years, that's the minimum requirement for AACC counselors. Okay, so you wanna just have romantic relationship with your clients, and then just terminate the counseling session and let's meet together and have dates or marriage. You cannot do it for in 3 years. Okay. That is securing our client's safety and our safety also. Or regarding, we can be allured by lots of the things and we can be in trouble in many ways. So you gotta be careful. Right? Well, we just took care of lots of things, including the marriage and sexual stuff and suicidal and addictions and something like that. And do you have any questions or comments? We're gonna just move on to the next topic. Next course is gonna be started with the dual and multiple relationships in counseling sessions from the next week. Do you have any questions, comments, and yeah? Okay. Were you comfortable with those codes? So you can understand what those codes are for, right? All right, great. So, right. Any questions or comments? We are about to wrap it up.
Oh, sorry.
No problem. How do you like the codes? The code of ethics. How do you like it? Do you think we need those things for the counseling?
I think so. I wonder why it's just 3 years.
3 years?
It's
Yeah.
a lot.
Because that is a what if a counselor, like his client or a lady, and they both got fall in love with in the meantime, and or the counselor can just have personal relationship with his client, and then let's just stop or terminate or end the counseling relationships. Let's close it and let's have date and enjoy our life. That is not acceptable. That's why we are saying we need to wait 3 years, and after that we can. Yeah, it is a long time, but after that you can build any kind of relationship with your client or your counselors. Okay, that's for the safety for our clients and for just controlling the counselors to not to do something wrong to the clients.
So they can't date?
The marriage,
Really?
they have to wait 2 years.
It's by the law.
It is about the marriage.
It's very tough.
Well, yeah, but it can be happened a lot.
I think
So the counselors have to be careful with their clients. A guy, I think yesterday, I just heard that from yesterday or the day before yesterday's news, ABC news, and then he says that high school teacher, the guy just mistreated his high schooler, and he got kind of tough sentence.
I know, but she was probably under the 18, yeah?
Yeah, high schoolers,
So, I know.
mostly
It's-
under 18s.
It's very bad.
Yeah.
This one, yeah.
So the teachers, pastors, And religious leaders and counselors, doctors, they have responsibilities, kind of serious responsibilities on those kind of activities, especially the sexual thing. Because they can gaslight people and they can allure people easily, in many other ways. So we don't want to just see it. So there are tough rules and laws and ethics for that. What about Simon? How do you like the cause? Do you think we need it?
Yeah, well, I wanted to ask you, did you, in your experience, did you deal with any issues like these? How often does it come up in your practical?
Yeah, that can be happened anytime, Even I was feeling that, because I met, lots of beautiful, clients, very attractive, then I have to be more careful.
So you are.
Because I cannot, take. I don't want to just discriminate the beautiful people, ugly people. I want to just take only ugly clients. I cannot say that, because people are coming, and I need to be careful more.
So you are doing this job still, yeah?
Yeah, those things are very careful.
You are active
I do counsel people, and I, in various settings, like, so I used to give counseling, counseling centers and personal practice, all kinds of things. So I like, kind of CCTVs. So when you visit any formal counseling centers, there are lots of CCTVs in the counseling rooms too, one or two at least. And all eyes and the lobbies, waiting rooms and receptions, lots of CCTVs. It is good. It is good for counselors and counselors. Very good. And I think I just mentioned once the Biola University Counseling Center, which is on Lanyard and Imperial. That counseling center is pretty nice, and they have security guards too, because clients cannot take their, counselors. They, go crazy. I don't know if I told you now, when you have a counseling room, well, let's say there's a kind of table, all right? Table, and there's a chair, two chairs, and you are a counselor. Which chair you wanna sit on?
Yeah, no,
Number one or
by the
two?
door. Close to door, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
You
is
told us
the chair you wanna take.
I watch on video.
Because you can just escape as soon as possible. Right? Very important. Or you got in trouble, Told you my co-worker got stabbed by her client.
Was he? What?
My co-worker, in the past, she got stabbed by her client.
He's alive?
She survived. It was a big issue at the time. It can be happen. Because our clients are vulnerable, they are under huge stress, or they can have mental disorders, and then they can do, whatever they want when their emotions got elevated high. All right, and then we're gonna just continue this next week. Thank you for coming.
So.